After America's worst wildfire in a century, Maui's head of emergency management just resigned, saying he has, quote, no regrets after sending potentially hundreds of people to their deaths by sitting on Hawaii's famous alarm system. Meanwhile, we're just now finding out that Hawaii's chief water official refused to release water, letting fires approaching 60 miles per hour tear across the island. He had previously waxed poetic about his one water approach involving, quote, true conversations about equity that apparently included not letting big plantations put out catastrophic wildfires.
He treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua kane. We've become used to looking at water as like something which we use and not necessarily something that we revere as that thing that gives us life.
Washington people talk about the evil party and the stupid party, but it takes a bureaucrat to get that rare blend of evil and stupid, with no regrets. No worries though, Washington is on the job. Just days after Maui burned, the White House proposed a $12 billion boost to FEMA, America's disaster management agency, with some of that money presumably going to Maui. You actually never know, since they use disasters to fundraise government budgets, with no guarantee the money will actually go to whatever disaster was used. Thing is, Biden's $12 billion was jammed into a bill to give Ukraine another $24 billion, using Maui victims to blackmail Ukraine skeptics who are opposed, like most Americans, to writing blank checks to an ongoing meat grinder that risks nuclear war. Heritage CEO Kevin Roberts, himself a son of the Bayou who remembers the disastrous federal response to Hurricane Katrina, did not mince words, writing that holding wildfire victims hostage to blank checks for war, quote, betrays the very definition of what it means to be a representative of the people. In ancient China, natural disasters were key moments in the mandate of heaven. They were a way for the people to grade their government to see whether it is still working for them. Because disasters are natural tests, whether the government is still serving the people. Is it willing to? Is it even able to? Even today, Confucian-influenced governments like Japan or Korea take natural disasters very, very seriously. They know the entire government is being judged. On that standard, our federal government, and apparently many state governments, have long since morphed from helpful servants of the people to a parasitic leviathan, predatory even, that takes but gives very little in return. In fact, sometimes they shut off the water. The federal government now spends $6.5 trillion every year and rising. State and local governments spend another $4 trillion on top of that, also rising. Together, they take almost half of what the American people produce, over $10 trillion per year. From Wednesday to Friday, you don't work for you, you work for them. And what do we get in return for half of our life's work? We're on our own. Unless, of course, we slide them a fresh $24 billion for some hot meals and cadaver dogs. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.